What's good with y'all YouTube, man? We are back again, and today we're about to be getting back into talking about some football, but this time it's about to be NFL. Now that week one is completely over, this video is going to be about how each team should feel after their week one game. There are some teams that should be panicking, there are some teams that should feel pretty good, and there are some teams that are kind of indifferent. I don't know, but I'm going to tell y'all what I think about every single team, all 32 of them. Every single team played this weekend, so we are about to talk about every single game. Wait, all 32 teams played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. I miscounted, but I'm pretty sure all teams played this weekend. I don't think there's ever any teams that don't play in week one. So, starting off with the first game that kicked off the season, we got the Chiefs and the Ravens. I'm going to be talking about the winners first and then the losers second. So, I'm going to be talking about, like, I'm going to do matchups. Like, Chiefs, Eagles, we're going to talk about the Chiefs. Chiefs, Ravens, we're going to talk about the Chiefs, then the Ravens. Eagles, Packers, we're going to talk about the Eagles and the Packers. You understand, okay? Okay. So, Chiefs, Ravens. It was a great game. If you're a Chiefs fan, you feel really, 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 really good. Like, if you're a Chiefs fan, you were missing one of your receivers in Hollywood Brown. You were thinking, we got some new pieces to incorporate on the offense. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line still hasn't been fixed the way we want it to be fixed. What is this team going to look like? Is the defense still going to be the same without L'Jarius Sneed? And obviously the defense wasn't the same, but it was still pretty good. Like, Lamar cooked them up, but they only allowed 20 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't – obviously, I feel like the Ravens could have won that game and should have won that game because the Ravens should have handed the ball off to to Derrick Henry more, and the Ravens, Lamar Jackson should have hit that throw in the back of the end zone to Zay Flowers when he was butt naked wide open, but we'll talk about them in a minute. But if you're a Chiefs fan, you feel pretty good. Your team wasn't fully healthy. You lost a good piece this offseason. You were incorporating some new pieces to your offense. If you're a Chiefs fan, I think you should be really happy right now. That was a big, big win in the AFC Championship rematch. But if you're a Ravens fan, I'm a little mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm a little pissed off because we should have won that game. Because why did Derrick Henry only get literally in the second half he damn near didn't get the ball. He got 13 carries for 46 yards, which isn't bad or anything, but it's like, why didn't you give him the ball more? Like, I just don't get that. Like, you got him in the offseason for a reason. You saw in the championship game last year that you probably would have won that game if you just ran the ball more. And then in this game, you go and you don't run the ball. If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm also pissed because that illegal formation call where it's like, oh, the tackle is not up on the line of scrimmage enough, that got called on the Ravens like 10 times just in the first half alone, but it was never called on the Chiefs. Maybe once, but I don't think it was ever called on the Chiefs. So, like, if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm pissed about that. I'm pissed Lamar Jackson, who's a two-time MVP, and he's the reigning MVP right now. I'm pissed that he just he went out there and missed that throw in the back of the end zone to Zay Flowers when he was wide open to tie the game. If you're a Ravens fan, you should also be happy about the progression of Isaiah Likely, bro. That man was a dog in that game. He was cooking the Chiefs in that whole game. And, people are like, damn, Mark Andrews' fantasy stock going down. Yeah, it went down for sure. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, you don't need to be worried about Mark Andrews, I don't think. But that was a really good sign for you. It's another great receiving target because you don't have too many great ones, so that was good. And you saw that Zay Flowers had a pretty decent game himself. He could have had a touchdown. He would have had another reception for like 10, 15 yards with that touchdown, but, Lamar Jackson missed it. And it's not even that it was such like, oh, I think Lamar sucks. It's not that, but it's just like, as a two-time MVP, as one of the top 3-4 quarterbacks in the league, and that moment when you're going against a guy that just beat you in the AFC Championship and that you're like 1-4, 1-5 against in your career, you got to hit that throw. I'm not going to lie. A two-time MVP has to be able to hit that throw wide open in the back of the end zone. You're used to throwing on the move, so it's not like anything like that. You got to have that throw because keep in mind also earlier in the game, I think it was in the first half, Leo Chenal should have picked them off on the goal line. He almost picked them off on the goal line, but he just batted it down because it was a little bit out of his reach, but still. If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm like, damn, Lamar went off. You can say he played better than Patrick Mahomes, but when it mattered, no, he didn't. When it came down to that final play, those final two plays, no, he didn't. Packers, Eagles. If you're a Packers fan, if you're an Eagles fan, you should be ecstatic. And let me tell you why. The game started off terribly. You got Saquon slipping. You got Jalen Hurts throwing a pick. You got Jalen Hurts fumbling the ball because the center snapped it too early. You got problems starting this game off, and then you still put up 34 points and win the game 34-29. And yeah, I know people, Jordan Love got hurt. Maybe they wouldn't have won. They would have won that game. It would have been, even if Jordan Love was in there, it's damn near impossible for them to have gotten that touchdown with as little time as there was left. Now, the one thing that you might still be worried about is damn, Jalen Hurts throws 2 picks and fumbles, loses the fumble. Those turnover problems from last year were one of the biggest concerns with Jalen Hurts last year. I think he led the league or was second in the league in interceptions with 15. He comes in this game and throws 2 of them. That's not great. Let's not act like he doesn't have receiving targets. A.J. Brown went off 5 for 119 and a touchdown. Devonta Smith didn't do a ton. You know what I'm saying? Devonta Smith didn't have a great game, but 7 for 84, that's a good game. And then you got Saquon Barkley, and boy, this is the best part if you're an Eagles fan. Saquon Barkley, 24 for 109 and 2 touchdowns, including a receiving. That's not even including the receiving touchdown. He was 2 for 30. He was 2 for 23 receiving with the touchdown. He had 3 touchdowns in his Eagles debut. Like I said, I'm picking him for Offensive Player of the Year, bro. He's never run behind a good line in his life, and now you give him one of the best in the league. Lord, if Jason Kelce was there, it would be a landslide picking him if Jason Kelce was still there, bro. Like, that's what really the most encouraging thing is that you got Saquon Barkley, who played very, 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 very well, and that's exactly what you needed him to do. The defense played better than I thought they would. Now, I know you're saying, oh, they let up 29 points. Considering the 3 turnovers, that's not terrible. I'm not going to lie. Considering the 3 turnovers, that's not terrible. They held Jordan Love to 17 of 34 for 2 and a pick for 260 yards, but 17 of 34, that's not great. They held Josh Jacobs to, well, not held. Josh Jacobs went 16 for 84, 5.3 yards per carry, so they didn't hold them by any means. Really, the only person that beat them receiving was Jaden Reed, 4 for 138 and a touchdown. He's the only guy, and one of them was, I think it was the super long one where he, like, broke Darius Slay's ankle or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're an Eagles fan, you're not too mad. You're not really mad at the defense. I'm not gonna lie. The defense looks better than I thought it was gonna look. I thought this defense was like the real concern I had with putting the Eagles in the Super Bowl was their defense. I was like, damn, if they run into the Lions or they run into the Eagles, they might lose just because their defense. I mean, if they run into the Lions or 49ers, they might lose just because their defense isn't great. But they went out here and their defense played okay. I wouldn't say they played great or well, but I'll say they played okay. If you're a Packers fan, it's not even the loss that you're worried about. It's the fact that Jordan Love is out for 3 to 4 weeks, at least 4 to 6, something like that. It's at least a month. Do you trust Malik Willis? I wouldn't. I would not trust Malik Willis. You might. Let's see what your schedule's like over the next 2-3 weeks, because I'm very interested. I know you play the Colts this week. That's going to be a loss. You play the Titans next week. That could be a loss. You play the Packers. You play the Vikings after that. What they just did to the Giants, that could be a loss. Then you play the Rams. Like you could legitimately lose each of your next 4 or 5 games. Even though they're not great teams you're playing, they're good enough to where you could lose all of your next 5 games just because you don't have Jordan Love. The Lions beat the Rams. They've got to start in the division. All 3 of the people in that division besides the Packers won. Don't start out 0-4, 0-5, because then you're cooked. I don't know even if Jordan Love comes back after that, you're probably too far behind, especially if the Lions do what I think they're going to do and continue to be like a 12, 13 win team this year. Good luck if you're a Packers fan, bro. Rams, Lions. As you know, I'm a Rams fan. If you're a Lions fan, you should be happy in some ways, but concerned in other ways, because this shouldn't have been a game that went to OT when the Rams were missing 5 starters. Shouldn't have been, including our second best or arguably our best receiver in Puka Nacua. There's no way that should have been a 6-point game in OT. No way. You were fully healthy. We were missing 5 starters, and I think 4 of them were O-linemen. And you damn near lost at home. And Lions fans need to cut that booing Matthew Stafford stuff out, bro. Stop that. Why? What are you doing that for? Like, he got traded. That man didn't betray the organization or something. He's literally the best quarterback you've ever had. He took you out to the playoffs for the first time in like 16 years or something like that back in the day. Well, I mean, they didn't win a game, but still, you took you to the playoffs. Y'all would have went 0-16 more than once if it wasn't for Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson. And y'all booing him. Bull jiving me, boy. What's wrong with y'all? Booing him when he come. I hate when they do that, bro, because it's like, what do you gain by booing Matthew Stafford? That boy left y'all to want a ring. I promise he don't give a damn. Anyways, if you're a Lions fan, you should be happy because y'all ran the ball up and down the field. I mean, Aaron Donald retired, and I was concerned about it going into this game, but boy, y'all ran the ball up and down the field the whole game, and then in OT, you did it again because you were like, you know what, let's go back to before the 4 passes have been it, and let's go ahead and run the ball every single time down the field. If I'm a Lions fan, I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs get the ball a little bit more, like a little more carries. I mean, it was 17-11, right? So it wasn't anything crazy, and he did get 4 receptions, so it wasn't anything crazy. But as a Jahmyr Gibbs fantasy owner, but also as someone that's like, why would you draft him with the 12th pick if you just wanted him to be the second back for 2-3 years? Play him more. I get David Montgomery was out there cooking, 5.4 yards a carry, 17 for 91 and a touchdown. I feel you. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. Jahmyr Gibbs could do the same thing behind that line. Play him more. Just stop being dumb. You drafted him with the 12th pick for a freaking reason. Play him more. You should be really happy because Jameson Williams went out there and cooked the Rams. You should be a little worried because Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't do a damn thing. You should be a little worried because while Jared Goff went 18-28 for 217, a touchdown and a pick, he should have had more than 1 pick. That one to Who was it, bro? Kobe Durant, I think it was. I think it was to Kobe Durant where it should have been a pick. It was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. If that would have been a pick, if Kobe Durant comes down with that, the game would have been over. Y'all should be worried a little bit because it's like, I understand maybe, you're trying to build a little rivalry with the Rams. Okay, maybe that's why it was a little closer game than it should have been, but the Rams are a good team. Please don't get me wrong. I'm a Rams fan. I believe the Rams will make the playoffs. They are a good team. If you play like the way you just played against the 49ers or the Eagles, you shouldn't be this close in a game when a team is missing 5 starters and Jared Goff should have thrown 2 picks and you should have lost the game. You had Aiden Hutchinson over there. He was getting everything he wanted on the quarterback, basically, pretty much, for the whole damn game. Matthew Stafford was out there running for his life, making plays at 36 years old. Cooper Kupp was out there doing everything he possibly could. Kyron Williams, we couldn't run the damn ball to save our life. Couldn't run the damn ball. Blake Corum not getting a carry. A little interesting. But we couldn't run the damn ball to save our lives. And as a Rams fan, I'm not mad at all. And let me tell you why. We were missing 5 freaking starters, including one of our top wide receivers, and 4 offensive linemen. And we damn near beat them, and we are the worst team by almost everyone's account. I'm not mad at that. We had opportunities to win the game. I'm not mad at that. Bills Cardinals. If you're a Cardinals fan, you should be happy and mad because why didn't Marvin Harrison Jr. get more targets? But you also had a chance to win this game. So like you're happy and you're mad, but at the same time, like you scored 28. Please don't get me wrong, but like in the second half, didn't do a damn thing pretty much. Like really didn't do a damn thing pretty much. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like you were up the whole first half, and then in the third quarter, you said, we're gonna let them score 2 unanswered touchdowns, and then we're each gonna score 10 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, okay, if you're a Bills fan, you should be happy because Josh Allen might be the favorite for MVP right now after week 1. You should be happy for that because that boy was on there 4 total touchdowns. He was doing everything he possibly could have. It was pissing me off because Dalton Kincaid didn't get the damn touches and James Cook wasn't getting enough carries. So my fantasy wasn't great, which you're about to see in the video tomorrow. It didn't go great. But if you're a Bills fan, you're like, oh, Josh Allen out here trying to get the MVP, everything like that. He didn't turn the ball over. He was 9 for 39 with 2 rushing touchdowns. Like, great for him. You're a little worried about the receivers because no one had a great game, but, Keon Coleman was out there doing good things. He went 4 for 51, so that's a good thing on 5 targets. So, really, that is actually really good. You couldn't run the ball great, but I'm a little concerned about this defense, which is the reason that I was like I said, the Bills didn't make the playoffs for me because that defense lost a lot, and they don't have a true wide receiver 1. I think that Keon Coleman is the 1, but still, that's not like a true proven wide receiver 1. You're happy you won the game, and you're happy that Josh Allen's probably the favorite for MVP, but other than that, it didn't really answer any of my questions that I had going into the season. Patriots, Bengals. Bengals, what the hell are y'all doing? First 2 weeks of the season, every single year, y'all suck. That's all I have to say. I don't know what y'all were doing, but you suck. You're terrible. Joe Burrow, 21 for 29, 164 yards. Y'all suck. That's all I have to say if you're a Bengals fan. You should be pissed because y'all suck. Patriots, you should be ecstatic because Ramondre Stevenson ran all over them boys. Jacoby Brissett did not play a bad game at all. He didn't play a great game. He only threw for 121 yards. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he went out there and lit the Bengals up, but Ramondre Stevenson did. The defense looked legit. If you're a Patriots fan, you're super happy. I know Flight Reacts is happy right now. If you're a Vikings fan, you're happy because I thought you were going to lose this game. I really did. Luckily for you, Daniel Jones might be the worst quarterback in football, and they don't have any receivers outside of Malik Neighbors. Oh, and they can't run the ball. Yeah, so the offense just sucks. Oh, hey, the defense. Kayvon Thibodeau. You talked all that on Hard Knocks. You were supposed to be one of the best edge rushers in your class. You were, what, the 3rd pick? Okay, so what's going on? You had 0 stats. You didn't even get a pressure. You didn't even get a tackle. 0 stats? That defense was supposed to be like the best D-line in the league. And y'all had, what did y'all have? I think I had 1 sack as a team. And it was D-Law, Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy. Yeah, okay. Giants, you suck. Hey, why did you use, what was it, the 6th pick or the 10th pick or something on Daniel Jones? Why did you do that? That brother sucks. Why did Sam Darnold go out there and dot the Giants up? Because he sucks too. Please don't get me wrong. If you're a Vikings fan, you're happy you got to win, but you're still looking at it and you're like, damn, season's still cooked. Anyways, Titans-Bears. If you're a Bears fan, you're just glad you got the win because you didn't play well. Luckily for you, you got a special teams score by Jonathan Owens. I looked at that ESPN notification. I said, damn, Simone Biles' husband just scored. That's how you know the game's bad. I said, oh, no. He's not even a bad player or anything. I'm just being disrespectful. But I was like, oh, this is what we got going on. And then, yeah, Caleb Williams didn't play well at all. You had a pick 6 and you had a, I think it was a blocked punt. It was a blocked punt touchdown that you returned. Caleb Williams didn't even throw for 100 yards. You couldn't run the ball to save your life. Y'all suck. Titans fans, I don't know what made the Titans want to buy into Will Levis. Who made the Titans think that it was a good idea for them to try to build around Will Levis? I know we've all seen the clip of him throwing that pick six and he's just sitting there on the ground like, what did you think was going to happen? That was one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen. Now, I saw Dan Orlovsky run out of the end zone. I've seen that clip 1,000 times, so it isn't the dumbest play I've ever seen, but it's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, both of the Titans and the Bears. In week one, you sucked. Panthers, Saints. If you're a Saints fan, you're happy you blew them out. You still have a lot of questions because why didn't Chris Olave get the ball more? Alvin Kamara is not completely washed. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, Rashid Shaheed went 3 for 73, but Derek Carr still didn't play great. He went 19 for 23 for 203 touchdowns, so he was accurate. He was efficient. But he didn't play great. I mean, it's like you played against the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not ecstatic. You're just happy you got the win. You're happy you got a blowout win in a divisional game. If you're the Panthers, sell the team. Trade everybody and sell the team. Steelers, Falcons. If you're a Steelers fan, you're happy that Justin Fields went out there and didn't turn the ball over. You're happy that T.J. Watt looks to be the best defensive player, maybe the best player in all of football. And you're happy that, why can't I think? Chris Boswell. You're happy that Chris Boswell literally can't miss. Because on offense, y'all didn't do a damn thing. Najee had a good game. George Pickens, the one thing on offense that was really, really good, besides Najee carrying the ball, even though that wasn't great, he just got 70 yards. The one thing that was really good was the George Pickens, Justin Fields deep ball connection. That was actually really good. Are they going to start Russell Wilson this week? I don't know. I don't think they should, but some people think they should. I don't think they should. If you're a Steelers fan, you still have questions about the offense 100,000%. But thank God for T.J. Watt and thank God for Chris Boswell. If you're a Falcons fan, you're pissed. The offense couldn't do a damn thing. Kirk Cousins couldn't throw the ball down the field. Kirk Cousins didn't have the time to throw the ball down the field. You couldn't run the ball. You couldn't do anything. Literally on offense, you couldn't do anything. Man threw 2 picks. You couldn't get more than 3 yards of carry out of Bijan, and Bijan is a dog. He was doing everything he can. The O-line is supposed to be one of the best units in the league, and you were getting sat down the whole game. If you're a Falcons fan, you're pissed. Because you went out there and you watched the Bucs beat down on the Commanders, and then you watched the Panthers get whooped by the Saints. And then you went out there and lost in a game that you easily, well, not easily, but that you could have won, and that I predicted you to win. You suck. If you're the Jaguars, you're pissed because why did you sell this? How did you sell this lead? You were up 17-7 in the first quarter, and you didn't score again for the rest of the game. The second quarter. You were up 17-7 at halftime, and you didn't score in the second half. Etienne fumbles in the end zone when Javon Holland punches it out, and you don't score for the rest of the game. You let Tyreek go out there after getting arrested, which them cops need to be fired today, right now, today, gone. I don't want to hear about no damn administrative leave. I don't want to hear about them getting let go so that way they can still get another job at another police department. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Fire them. All of them. Not all of them, but the one that sat him down for sure. Because what did y'all even put him on the floor for? What did y'all sit him down like that for when he was talking about he just has surgery and y'all just still sat him down and didn't give a damn? Yo mama is a hoe. All them cops, your mama is a hoe. Anyway, you let Tyreek go out there and cook you. Them boys couldn't run the ball, but then you let Achane get the ball in the receiving game. Thank you, Achane, for fantasy, even though I lost. Thanks. I appreciate the effort. You let Tua go out there and throw for 338. Didn't score in the second half. Jaguars, you suck. Dolphins, you're glad you got the win, but you're a little concerned because why were you down 17-7? Really, it should have been 23-17. Should have been the final score, but the kicker missed a different field goal earlier in the game. Anyways, Texans, Colts. If you're a Texans fan, you just thank God you didn't sell because y'all damn near sold. If you're a Colts fan, Anthony Richardson is superhuman, and he's still going to complete under 50% of his passes. But those deep balls, he's going to complete those. That man threw the ball 60 yards in the air without even really stepping into it. It didn't look like it was all the perfect platform throw. He was just flat-footed. 60 yards down the field, perfect accuracy. Damn near brought them back. I think he had 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing and 1 rushing. The only bad thing about the Colts is that your defense let Joe Mixon run all over you. If you're a Texans fan, you're really happy that the Colts had, first of all, Diggs is the wide receiver 1, like I predicted he would be. All y'all talking about Nico Collins was the wide receiver 1 in this game, as I predicted he would be, but I still think Diggs is going to be the wide receiver 1 come the end of the season. Nico Collins went 6 for 117, but Diggs got both of the touchdowns, which was big. But at the same time, I think it's just the chemistry. As Diggs and Stroud continue to build more chemistry, I do think he will eventually be the one. But in this game, I did think it was going to be Nico Collins because I thought that chemistry was a big thing. And guess what? It was Nico Collins. Some water. Anyways, if you're a Texans fan, you're super happy because Joe Mixon went out there and rushed for 150 yards and then also caught 3 passes. If you're a Joe Mixon fantasy owner, you're ecstatic because I know you weren't expecting that. Raiders, Chargers. If you're a Raiders fan, you're pissed because I'm not gonna lie. I think Alec Pierce or that's not his name. Antonio Pierce is a good coach, but that play calling was terrible. Why didn't you go for that 4th and 1 on like the 50? Why didn't you go for that in the fourth quarter while you were down? I think I don't remember what you were down at the time, but you should have went for that. I don't get why you don't go for that. I just don't. And then you also allowed the Chargers to run all over you. Oh, and Max Crosby got shut down by Joe Alt. So if you're a Raiders fan, life sucks. Devontae Adams didn't get the ball. You don't have Josh Jacobs anymore, who didn't even have a good year for you last year. Your quarterback is still Gardner Minshew, and then your best pass rusher just got shut down by the 5th overall pick of this year's draft. If you're a Chargers fan, you're glad you got the win. You're welcome to see Jim Harbaugh there, and you're glad that you can run the ball, and you're glad that Ladd McConkey caught a touchdown, and you're glad that Herbert, wasn't terrible. You're glad that your offense was able to do something, because we know y'all ain't going to be able to pass the ball, but at least you were able to run the ball all over them. Damn near 200 rushing yards as a team. Raiders, damn, that defense on the Raiders, bro, is terrible. Speaking of an interesting game that I watched for reasons that I couldn't even begin to describe, Broncos-Seahawks. How do you give up 2 safeties and still win the game? Oh, I'll tell you how, because Bo Nix can't throw the ball past 10 yards. Bo Nix cannot throw the ball past 10 yards as a starting NFL quarterback, a first round pick in the draft, making millions of dollars, can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field. You get 2 safeties, and you lose the game by a touchdown because Bo Nix throws 2 picks, goes 26 of 42 for 138. You completed 26 passes for 138 yards, and then you also threw 2 picks on 42 attempts. You let Kenneth Walker go out there and run for 20 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown. You had 2 safeties and lost the damn game. If you're a Browns fan, you're pissed. Your quarterback, genuinely, bottom 3 in the league right now. After week 1, it's Bryce Young, it's Daniel Jones, and it's Deshaun Watson. Those are the bottom 3. Because what did I just watch? You couldn't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field. You were staring receivers down and knew there was someone there and still were throwing it when you could have checked it down multiple times. David Njoku gets hurt. Nick Chubb isn't back. Deshaun Watson is terrible. If you're a Browns fan, you're pissed. The defense couldn't do anything, bro, because they kept getting the ball. They kept, literally, bro, it was 3 and outs. Your defense was getting tired, and then they also kept getting the ball because guess what? Deshaun Watson threw 2 picks. He fumbled once, too. They're saying, thank God he didn't lose it, but damn. What is the defense supposed to do with that? Your offense can't get more than 4 yards. This man averaged less than 4 yards per attempt. You average less than 4 yards. You average 4.9 yards per carry as a team, but your starting back, Jerome Ford, averaged less than 4 yards per carry? Damn. I had y'all in the playoffs, but damn. That roster is so good, but damn. Deshaun Watson? Damn. And then you got another charge? Damn. But anyways, the Buccaneers went out there and beat up on the Commanders. If you're Jaden Daniels, you had an all right game. If you're a Commanders fan, you're pretty happy Jaden Daniels had an okay game. The O-line was terrible. He literally was the leading rusher, which was, interesting. The receiving leader was Austin Eckler, which is also interesting. Why did Terry McLaurin only catch 2 balls for 17 yards on 4 targets? I don't know. How did you just let the Buccaneers go out there and score 40 on you? I don't know, but it looks like the Commanders will continue to have the worst defense in the league because letting the Buccaneers score 40, boy, I don't know what you think the Eagles are going to do to you. And then last but not least, the Jets-49ers game from last night. Jets fans, the game started off okay. It was the Aaron Rodgers to Garrett Wilson connection that was cooking. And Breece Hall was doing okay. Breece Hall also dropped a few passes, fumbled the ball. Aaron Rodgers threw a pick and looked at me like I did it. You couldn't stop anything. Couldn't stop a sneeze. Hassan Reddick still isn't there. C.J. Mosley got hurt but then came back in. Let me think. The 49ers were getting penalty after penalty on one specific drive. I remember it vividly. And then them boys still scored. They got like back-to-back 10, 15-yard penalties like 2 or 3 times in a row. And then you still let them go out there and get that touchdown. You let, and I'm forgetting his name, the running back, bro. What was his name? Jordan something, right? Jordan Mason? Was that his name? Yeah, Jordan Mason. Y'all let him go out there. You found out before the game McCaffrey wasn't going to play. Y'all let him go out there and rush for 147 yards and a touchdown. The 49ers didn't even do nothing crazy in the passing game. They did all right, but they didn't do nothing crazy. They didn't even have a passing touchdown. You let Jordan Mason go out there and rush for 150 yards. He had never even had as many carries he had in this game in college. He didn't have 28 carries in college, and you let him go out there and rush for 150 yards. Jake Moody kicked like 5 or 6 field goals, made them all. One of them hit the upright and went in, and that was when I knew y'all were going to lose, because if you're a Jets fan, man, it wasn't terrible. But, like, damn, you could have put up a little bit more of a fight. But, man, this was a long video of me rambling. We're going to have a video of my Week 1 overreactions where it's basically going to be one sentence for each team overreacting about Week 1. But tomorrow's video, y'all will see my fantasy team update because I want to die and my fantasy team got pooped on. Okay? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching, bro. Let me know what types of videos y'all want to see because I don't want to be giving y'all stuff that's boring or stuff that y'all don't like. So let me know what y'all want to see, bro. All right? Stay blessed. Stay praying, bro.